Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Deja Vu, and I am back bringing you the Avalon MSL Group B, the Group of Dragons. This is going to be the losers match, Game 4. This is Bisu from SKT1 and Free from Woongjin Stars, and this should be a great game going to be played on Carthage. I guess this would be Carthage 3 now, I believe they're on to. They keep remaking it, making slight changes here and there. Just keep redoing it. We're going to have Bisu in the top in brown, and then we're going to have Free in the bottom right in white, I believe that was. I think this will be a great match. Bisu is, I believe in May, he was ranked second by Kespa to Jaedong, but he did beat Jaedong pretty recently. I think a couple weeks ago he took Bisu took Jaedong down, and so he may actually have propelled himself into #1 in the world rankings. And Bisu throwing one of his original 4 probes out already. So we're going to see some major cheese. Major cheese. And if you watched Bisu versus Lita, we know that Bisu recently has come up with some creative and awesome cheeses. And I am excited to see what he does. It does look like Free's going to play normally here, just throwing down a pylon in his base, not going to anticipate anything. And there's the pylon going up at the front for Bisu. So he's going to be going for a proxy gateway push here. And that is not going to be very hidden. If Free decides to scout after gateway, he will see this pretty early, and Bisu might actually be in a pretty big disadvantage here. That spot is an interesting spot because it's going to depend upon what this probe does for Free. That's putting down the gateway, and it is... Is it going to explore? I think it is going to go out, and it's going to see this proxy build very early, and that is really bad for Bisu because that is going to be a completely scouted out, which means that Free is going to be able to see if Bisu throws down a second gateway and be able to respond with his second gateway, and he'll have all of the advantages of being able to tactically respond to whatever Free or whatever Bisu decides to do here. It does look like he's pulling probes off the line, so he's going to try and not even allow this gateway to come up and be able to do anything. A second gateway going down for Bisu, so Bisu is dedicating to this. This is going to be interesting to see whether he's actually able to pull this off or not. That is a lot of probes. That is 6 probes that have been pulled off for Free. So even if these proxies go down, that might have disrupted enough mining time for Free that Bisu might be able to get away with this. I don't know. He's gonna have to pull off some sort of damage though, because he's only now getting a pylon in his base, and that is just not nearly enough. And Bisu trying to harass the probes in Free's mineral line, and that first gateway is about to go down. It's just about dead, and boom, there it goes. Now they're onto the second gateway. I don't think that second gateway is gonna have time to throw up a get out any zealots out either. So this is going to be a completely failed proxy cheese by Bisu. He's throwing down a gateway now in his main. He's probably going to cancel that. Oh no, he's not even going to cancel that gateway there at the front. He's going to try and keep these force these probes to stay there as long as possible. I think Free can actually get away with pulling a lot of those probes back now that he has a zealot out, and a manor pylon now going down for Bisu. So Bisu's just trying every trick in the PvP book, being as harassive and annoying and as much of a nuisance as he can with this probe. And now more probes from Free being forced to attack this manor pylon. So even though Bisu doesn't really have much at his main base, he's delayed and abused and annoyed Free's mining enough that he may not be that far behind. He is definitely behind because he doesn't have his assimilator up, whereas Free has started his, and Free also has forces out, has a couple zealots out. So he's definitely behind. Actually, I take that back. He is throwing up his assimilator. He does have that up and a cybernetic score going down, but he doesn't have any forces out on the field, which puts him at a somewhat of a tactical disadvantage here. His probe, though, still somehow alive. Bisu famous for his incredible probe micro. And Bisu actually looks like he's going to come out of this. I think he's going to be okay throwing down a second pylon in his base, and I think he's going to be able to survive this. Failed cheese, which is pretty impressive, actually. That probe for Bisu. Bisu's probe micro is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know how to... It's just absolutely amazing how long he keeps his probes alive. Better than any other pro gamer, I have to say. And yeah, his cybernetic score is up. I believe that's even ahead of Free's cybernetic score, so he might not even be falling behind here at all. He can probably throw down some tech as well. And it looks like, I believe that building is going to be the cybernetic score. Yeah, that's only a little over halfway done for Free. So he's actually going to be ahead tech-wise, if not ahead in other ways. I'm going to have to pause this here because I am getting a phone call. Sorry about that little delay there. I am back, and Bisu's probe's still alive. I think Freeze is still alive as well. And like I was saying before, like Bisu is really on top of his game recently. Even though he's on the ropes here in the losers match after losing to Jangbi in a game he really should have won. He should have had the build order win in that first game against Jangbi. When he went for a 4-gateway Dragoon build out of 1 base, and Jangbi went with a quick Nexus, I believe, after a single gate there, I think, actually, is when Jangbi threw down that Nexus in that game. And somehow Jangbi held off with incredible probe micro, incredible Dragoon micro, and managed to survive, and that spelled the doom for the great Bisu. And now he's here in the losers match playing against Free. And I gotta say that even with the failed proxy, I have to give the advantage to Bisu, just because Bisu is just that good. And I expect that he'll probably go Reavers, and his Reaver micro is incredible. I know a lot of people, he's known for using his Dark Templar, especially against Zerg players, but his, okay, now he's going for that Citadel of Adun, and in kind of a hidden place at the corner of his base, but I think Bisu's Reaver micro is actually pretty incredible as well, some of the best in the world for sure. And now Bisu setting up 2 Zealots and his Dragoons to try and stop any sort of a scouting probe off, and he's actually going to push this. He actually did push that probe out of his base, and he has got a Dragoon chasing it, and Cybernetics Core is spinning for Free, so he's going to be going for that range upgrade. There's a Citadel just completed for Bisu, and so he's probably going to be throwing down that Templar Archives very, very shortly. And where is it? And there it is. There's the Templar Archives going up. So this is going to be for DTs, and now he just needs to make sure that he does not allow Free to get a scouting probe in, and he's got 2 Zealots and a couple of Dragoons there. There's no way that Free's going to really be able to get through that with any sort of a scout. And Robotics Facility going up for Free. If Free goes for 2-gate Robo into Observers, he will be very, very well prepared for this, I think, even though just because of the time it's going to take for those DTs to get across. I think the first DT will probably be produced before the first Observer, but it's not going to matter. And Free now throwing down his Nexus, and well, it looked like Bisu's throwing down a Forge, and it looks like he's also preparing to throw down his Nexus as well. And there's the Templar Archive, so Bisu will start getting out Dark Templar very, very shortly. But I think this, as long as Free decides to go for Observers first, and since he went for that Nexus, I'm going to assume that he is going to go for Observers first. That is the general build. You go with Observers whenever you fast or you expand a little earlier, and you can get Observers out just in case. And now Bisu trying to micro and going to try and take down this Dragoon for Free. It might actually be successful here. And Free trying to come around the other side with a couple of Zealots and Dragoons. He might be able to go for a pincer attack, but he's not going to go. He's not going to try and get in there from the back because Zealots were there from Bisu as well, so he did not really have much of an advantage. Free did not. And I believe these are cannons going down for Free, at least one at the main and maybe one there at the back as well. Can't really tell because they have this stupid little about player thing down at the bottom. 2 DTs out for Bisu, heading down towards Free's base. There is the observatory, so he'll be producing observers. He will be fine, I think. I've got to say, he will be just fine against Bisu. And if Free keeps predicting things like this, he might actually be able to come away with this after getting that those proxy gateways out very early, even though he didn't take them down as well as he could have, or should have, I should say. Still survived it, and now the DTs are coming, and as long as he, and actually Free coming in here for an attack with his Dragoons, actually got to be very careful here. Almost all the Zealots for both players are down. All the Zealots are down, and now he's going in there with his Dragoons. There are two cannons there as well. More gateways going down for Free, and I'm not seeing what's going on at the main battle. And it looks like Free might actually be able to break through here. He's killing that Dragoon, but now the DTs are into Free's base. They might be able to get Free rain. Where is the Observer? What's taking so long for the Observer to come up? The Observer should already be